Quiet Place Day One is the newest installment to the Quiet Place franchise, and let's just say, not exactly what I was expecting. So as the name suggests, of course, this is a prequel to the first Quiet Place movie. It is day one of the alien apocalypse. The creatures fall from the sky into New York City, and people have to learn that the only way they can survive is that they have to shut up. And believe me, that's a lot easier said than done. The movie stars Joseph Quinn and Lupita Nyong'o as our titular characters, but I feel like I just butchered her name. I am so sorry if I did. But they have good chemistry together. I actually really liked them. They had great moments together, even some of them heartfelt, and they kind of feel like they're opposites in a way. Though, I mean, it's not really seen that much because they're both trying to survive, of course. So, they both have to be quiet. They both have to be kind of like, I have to stay quiet. Can't be, myself right now, because if I be myself right now and involve making noise, I'm going to die. But, I mean, you could definitely see in one of them that one of them is probably more spirited than the other. But, I mean, overall, they did a great job. Both really well done performances, especially from her. She came off kind of like very unapproachable in the beginning, a very cold character, but then also she is a cancer patient. I mean, it's like introduced like right at the start of the movie that she is in hospice and she is dying. So, I mean, that of course, can make someone pretty cold. The caveat also behind this is that, technically this is day one. So, I mean, the aliens just arrive. Everybody has to stay quiet in order to survive. And, any normal person probably in the situation during this movie is thinking like, wow, all it takes is one slip up of me making noise. And you know what? This is my last day. These things are going to kill me. Whereas, she's been struggling with cancer for we don't know how long. So any day could have been her last day before this ever happened. So, I mean, it's like caveat, she's been struggling with that forever, while the normal people are, just like thinking this now. So, I mean, it's kind of like she could be thinking, wow, I thought I was going to die from my cancer, but you know what? I guess I'm going to die in the apocalypse instead. Now, like I said in the beginning of this review, I said, this is not what I was expecting for this origin movie, because I'm going to say it right here. I was expecting some literal carnage these first 20-25 minutes of this movie. Because, I mean, the things crash land. It's day one. These people have no idea what's going on. And usually when this kind of disaster happens, the first instinct probably for people to do is panic. Non-stop panic. And I was expecting, just these things running all over the place and, just killing people left and right. And I was expecting, a lot of carnage and a little bit of blood probably here and there. And I was just expecting it to be woof, people dying left and right. Only to get that, we only get a small little intro of them entering the Earth's atmosphere, and then she gets knocked out, and then she wakes up and everybody knows everything. So, I mean, I was like, that's it? That was our origin? I'm like, wow. That's disappointing. Another disappointment was, of course, with Henderson. I mean, I was expecting him to be like a messiah. I mean, I was expecting him to be the one to come forward and actually tell everyone this stuff about learning about how they can survive, because based off, his character, what he was a leader on that island. I was expecting him to learn all this stuff and, come forward saying, okay, here's what you got to do in order to survive. You need to be quiet. If anything, if you have to chase them chase you to the water, they can't go in the water. So I was expecting him to come forward with all that stuff. I was expecting him to see that leadership he had in the second movie, but we didn't get that there either. And also, even more disappointing, he's only maybe in 2 or 3 scenes in this entire film. And I'm like, oh, man, this movie was enjoyable. I mean, I won't deny I enjoyed the movie, but it wasn't really what I was hoping for. Let's just say that. I mean, This movie, I was expecting them to explore, where they really didn't do that at all. They pretty much just stuck to the same thing that has made Quiet Place such a great hit, and that's, getting you connected to characters while seeing that they are in a deafening, silenced world, because they have to be. But since this is supposed to be a prequel to the first movie, I was expecting more exploration. I was expecting this movie to be different because it's about learning about how to survive in this world when it happened. But they didn't go to that extent. And that kind of took a little bit of the enjoyment out of this movie. Because, it was like I went into this movie thinking like, oh, I'm going to learn a little bit more about this world and how this happened and see a little learning curve, how they learned to do this. When I left, it was just like anyone could ask me, like, how was Quiet Place Day 1? I'd be like, oh, it's nothing I've never seen. I haven't already seen. That's just the shock right there. Enjoyable, but not as enjoyable as I was expecting. Overall, though, I'll still give Quiet Place Day 1 a B. It's still a very good movie to watch, but still, when it comes to this franchise, there's nothing new in here that you haven't seen already in the first two films. Alright, well, A Quiet Place Day 1, if you guys have seen this movie, please comment here down below what your thoughts were on it. Also, if you like this review, please subscribe and check out more of my content here on my channel, and always remember to stay epic!